Hey, travel family! Welcome to another episode of Travel Chat with Chatney. Where to next? Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. In this episode, I will give you my full review of my experience on the Icon, starting with Embarkation. On this trip, we ported out of Miami. So my husband and I flew down the day before to Miami and we stayed at a hotel until the next morning. We took an Uber to the Miami port to board the Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas. So I don't have a whole lot of information for you when it comes to the actual parking piece of everything. However, taking the Uber to the port was definitely a somewhat time-consuming trip. So make sure it was pretty much just because of the traffic. There's a lot of construction going on down at Royal Caribbean's port at the time that we went. Hopefully by now, a lot of that construction has been cleared, but a lot of just detouring that had to take place. So it took a lot longer to get to the port than normal. However, when we did make it to the port, we were able to unload our bags, and right away we were able to drop our bags off to be checked in. Now, what was a little different for us is I want to say maybe about 2 or 3 days before it was time for us to sail off. I had got an email informing me that we received the Fast Pass. And so I had no idea what the Fast Pass was or even what it consisted of. However, our ticket was upgraded to include the Fast Pass. After doing a little bit of research, I come to find out that you can get a Fast Pass if you complete all of your pre-documentation items early. So normally what I always do my pre-check-ins. I go ahead and upload and pretty much just make sure all of our passport information is all set and in before the actual sail day. So apparently doing that in advance gives you a nice little perk of a Fast Pass. So with that Fast Pass, they were actually able to see it when I presented my ticket. And so you had a special line to be able to drop your luggage off right away. From there, we also had another special line that we got in due to the Fast Pass. And so we passed a lot of people just kind of in line going that Fast Pass route. To be honest with you, the check-in process, I felt like I blinked my eye and I was on the ship. I kid you not, took less than probably 5 minutes. By the time we walked through, we went through security, and from the time we went through security, we were getting on the boat. So it was really, really fast in our experience of having that Fast Pass. Now, once we got on the boat, I must say, it was breathtaking. As you can imagine, all the talks about this being the largest ship for Royal Caribbean, they definitely went all out when it came to the presence and what you saw as far as on the ship. So once getting on the ship, you could not help but see the beautiful pearl. That is something that I'm pretty sure all other YouTube videos you ever watch about the Icon all talk about as far as the pearl. So you see a lot of people already trying to take pictures, going under inside of the pearl. But other than that, just looking around, because you are immediately on the Royal Promenade. One of the things about the Royal Promenade that you could not miss is how large and extremely just filled with lights and stores you could not miss. So definitely, to be honest with you, I thought I was in a mall. Like, I had to kind of remind myself that I'm on a ship. But definitely beautiful, breathtaking. When you do, or if you do plan to sail the Icon, take that moment in, getting on the boat for the first time, and enjoy as far as the view, just like my husband and I did. So after taking in the experience of getting on the ship for the first time, the first thing that we always try to do is to knock out our muster drill. So first thing we did was to try to figure out as far as where our muster drill was located, which was super easy to navigate, by the way. So once we were able to get to our muster drill, real quick instructions. They really quick and just being able to show you how to put on your life jacket and where you'll need to go in the event of an emergency. And so once our names were checked off, hey, we were done. And like always, after that, we're ready to eat. So that was definitely our next stop, and being able to find as far as food. I must say, even just walking through to be able to locate where the food was, it was just a beautiful experience. Just to see all of the feels and the decoration that definitely made me feel like I was on vacation. So we ended up heading to Windjammer, which is the buffet area for Royal Caribbean. While taking a look and just kind of walking through just to kind of determine as far as our options for food. I also noticed like the taco spot was open, in which I must say, if it was up to me, I could have probably ate at their taco station every single day on the boat. It was really, really good as far as the different options that you had. You had your burritos, and the burritos were already set up to where you pretty much just grab and go. Also for your tacos, they had different options for you to, fill your tacos with as far as your different meat options, and then all of the additional toppings to go on top of that as well. They also had nachos. Like for me, I'm like, hey, every day nachos. You were able to top your nachos with whatever toppings you wanted to place on there, whatever protein selection you chose. Just a wide variance, and on top of all of that, it was good. However, we ended up choosing as far as the Windjammer for our first meal while being on the ship. And I must say it was the best decision, because what I was not prepared for was all of the different selections they had at the Windjammer. One of the things I was super excited about to see were the lobster tails, okay? Yes, you heard me. Lobster tails on the buffet. Okay. So super excited for me because I am a seafood girl. I love seafood. So all the different kinds of shrimps you were able to get as well. They had your butter, melted butter, get your lemon, and it was a true seafood enjoyment for sure. They also, for people like my husband who's, allergic to shellfish, they also had other options for you as well. So definitely different kind, fish. They also had burgers and steak. So I must say the steak was really good. They had multiple steak options for you. They had ribeye, they had filet. So whatever it was that you, or whatever your desired cut of steak, they definitely had it, along with different kinds of potatoes, different side options as well. One of the things to point out, they constantly had a salad bar going. Also different choices as far as for kids. So they had, your hot dogs, your chicken tenders, and all the different kinds of sauce that you can think of. So one thing I can say about the Icon, the food was definitely top tier. Throughout the cruise, one thing I did notice is that a lot of theme days they had. For example, they had Caribbean one night, and the Caribbean was probably by far the best food experience I have ever experienced on a ship. They had oxtails, red beans and rice, curry chicken, curry goat. All of this were on their buffet. Different kinds of stews, all just Caribbean style. And I must say, it was all really good. I'm not even an oxtail type of person, but I enjoyed the oxtails on the Icon. They were really good. Whoever was back there cooking, they were definitely doing a great job. All of the dessert options as well. All the different ice creams, cakes, brownies, different theme sections too, regarding like apple cobbler or peach cobbler. That was all on the buffet. So definitely I can say if you are a picky eater, don't worry, you will find something to eat on the Icon. Another thing to point out, they have different other areas that you could eat as well. So you really never felt just too overcrowded in whichever place that you did choose to eat at. Just like any other ship, they had their steakhouse, they had their sushi. Restaurant as well. They had an Italian restaurant. However, those type of restaurants that I just named, you do have to pay for those meals. However, the food that was included anything like in the Windjammer, the taco spot I was telling you about. You can grab a burger in the Windjammer as well. Also, too, they have different stations throughout that they kind of call like cafe stations, where you could find a lot of different sandwiches, salads. You can tell them what toppings you want, kind of like that Chipotle style setup for your salad. Different desserts, grab drinks. They even had different stations around the pool that it allowed you to grab like finger food, like chicken tenders and things. Also hamburgers, hot dogs, a lot of things as far as especially the kids would want to eat, after swimming for a couple of hours at the pool, to be able to just grab, enjoy, eat, and get back to swimming. So that was one of the things that I really liked to see, that was on the Icon, was just the different places that you could actually go at no additional cost to be able to eat. So you never had to always end up at the Windjammer or always end up at the main dining areas. So definitely check those out if you do plan to sail on the Icon. The Icon also had a Aquadome market, which is actually part of the Aquadome. In that area, you're able to grab small bites, such as they had like an Asian spot where you can grab small Asian meals, and then also sandwiches, and just many other good things for you to just pick up and eat. Grab you something to drink and enjoy a quick snack while you are there. So definitely a lot of different places to be able to experience food. Also, the Pearl. So as I talked about, as far as when you get on the boat, you're seeing the Pearl. Also had a Pearl Cafe. That Pearl Cafe was another place that you could just be able to go to, grab something and go. So a lot of good salad options are there that's already made. Salads, which were really good. My husband could not help himself going and grabbing a salad real quick, just a refreshing bite to eat, along with getting something to drink. They also had desserts there as well. So definitely a lot of options and a lot of different places to choose when it comes to some great eating on the Icon. Oh, and let me say that Pearl Market is also 24 hours. So hey, 3 o'clock in the morning, if your tummy is feeling a little empty, you want a quick bite, go head to that Pearl Market and you'll be able to just grab something and go, just to be able to satisfy your taste. All right, so that was all about the food. I told you about our experience with our first meal on the Icon, which I must say was so good. But after we ate, after I enjoyed all my lobster tails and shrimp and all of that good stuff, we then made our way to the Sailaway Party. We are always up for a good time and enjoying as far as the festivities that comes along with the Sailaway Party. And so one of the things that I noticed, it was kind of more on one side. However, the music kind of just spread out since how the boat is structured. So it started off as far as not too many people, but as the music started getting going and everything, you saw more people make their way into that area to be able to dance, enjoy the music, and have a good time. For myself, I kind of enjoyed having a good time, listening to the music, and then I found my way just kind of to the other side of the boat and found me a nice little sitting spot where I was able to sit out, still see the ocean, still hear the music as well, just not with as far as all the crowd. So I say that to say that, hey, depending on you, if you want to be directly part of the action and part of the music and crowd, there is definitely a spot for you over right there in front where the DJ is playing all the music at. Or if you get to the point where you kind of like me and want to find a nice little chill spot but still hear all the music and the enjoyment, there's definitely a place for you as well. One thing I can say with the Sailaway Party, because of the different options of where you could sit, there was definitely a great place for you to be able to find a good spot just to be able to enjoy the great vibes. So had a great time, and if you are party type, you make sure you are there at that Sailaway Party. So let's talk about the ship's decor. Did I already say how beautiful this ship was? Okay, I probably did. And I can't help but to continue to say that like so many times throughout, because the ship is definitely beautiful. One of the things that I truly enjoyed, especially as just kind of walking through the pool areas and seeing all how they structured the layout and how it's kind of seeming like it's different islands. So you have like your chill island, all of that. It just definitely made me feel like I was on a island with different parts to it. Definitely with the colors were bright, vibrant, gave you that full vacation feel, like almost to the point it was like Coco K but on a ship. So that's definitely what I felt. Everything was clean. All of the workers did a great job keeping everything clean, everything in order. So definitely the full layout. It really was a great feel. So one of the things that I enjoyed was just some of the simple decor that they added. For instance, depending on just kind of where you walk in, keep your eyes open because you might run into a mannequin. That mannequin could either be taking pictures, it could be acting like it's getting ready to dive. And if you're not aware, you might actually think it's a real person. So I like those little sneaky details that they added as far as in the decor. Also, you will run into as far as that Royal Caribbean dog throughout the ship, on top of also participating in the rubber duck finds as well. Everyone still continues to hide those rubber ducks and being able to find it. But the decor was beautiful. Even the comedy club section, how they had it laid out like it was a brick building, and with the people in the windows, it was just a really great feel no matter what area of the ship that you went into. So they did a very good job just detailing everything out, well planned to build this type of vacation style ship. So kudos to the Icon. Fantastic job, great color, great theming, great feel. You all did it with this one when it came to decor. Even the decor in our room, they did a great job. Our room, we actually end up choosing a inside cabin. And the way it was laid out and just the amount of space that was there, it really did not make you feel like you were enclosed in an indoor inside cabin. It really gave that feel that, hey, I'm kind of like more in a hotel room type of setup. One of the things that I did like, I must say, when it came to our room is the AC setup. I was actually able to select the exact temperature that I wanted our room to be. I don't know if you have ever sailed or sailed on any other ships, but a lot of times you just kind of moving a dial to cold or to warm. But on the Icon, I like the fact that I was able to actually say, hey, I want my room right at 67 degrees. And it definitely kept it there. You also had different options of setting your room mood. So let's say if you were selecting sleep mode, it would actually dim all your lights down. It would even set the AC to where it's not loud. You also can set it to like theater, so you'll have like a little bit of light. So that made it really, really nice. Just to select your mood once you walk through the door, and it will do all the dimming and everything else for you. Another thing to point out that I definitely got to give kudos to the Icon is the shower in the bathroom. So one of the things when it comes to different cruise ships, be prepared to kind of, you stand like in a tube when it comes to taking a shower, but kudos to the Icon for giving more space in the shower. They had like a seating section in the shower, so you were able to definitely feel like you had more space in that shower to, hey, get all cleaned up and refreshed for your next event. So definitely super happy about that. I hope all other ships take note of that. Moving forward, that is how showers, nothing smaller than that when it comes to being placed in various bathrooms. So kudos to Icon for definitely upgrading the shower. Other than that, the room was really nice. A lot of space, even the closet space. I had enough room to be able to hang up all of my stuff and also my husband items. We had little cubbies as well that I used to be able to put all of my items in. One of the things to take note, I'm always, hey, giving tips and tricks when it comes to packing. But if you ever go on Amazon and you see those little packing cubes, get you some. I use those cubes and I'll pack as far as like my undergarments, my t-shirts and my tights. And then that way, instead of trying to unpack that into cubbies, I just take the cube out and I just place it in the cubbies and unzip my cube as I need it. So a little trip when it comes to as far as cruising. That's one of the things that I like to use for myself. So let's talk about the activities on the Icon. And when I say activities, that is with a big S, okay? At the end, there were plenty of things to do on the Icon. Everything you can imagine, they probably had it. They had bingo, they had your karaoke. Another huge thing that I'm sure everyone talks about if you ever cruise on the Icon is their water park. Their water park, I was actually pretty shocked at how many slides they had. Matter of fact, it was a total of 6 water slides. Out of those 6 slides, I only got on one. Even though my husband tried to convince me to ride all of them, I was able to partake in one, which was a tube slide. We went down together, had a great time, had so much fun. I was convinced to go down that slide 2 additional times. So definitely it was fun. Got soaking wet going down that the slide. It was almost as if I was at like a Disney water park. And so even with all the other slides, you hear everyone having a good time. So definitely that water park, is for sure the best part of the Icon. There's no additional cost for the water park. So, hey, if you want to get up one morning and head on and ride every single water slide there, have at it. You definitely can, and you can do that every single day of your cruise. So definitely fun enjoying as far as the water park on the Icon. They also had the rock climbing. So if you're into as far as the rock climbing, so all of those extra activities, they are there for you. If you are super adventurous and like to try all of them, be ready because Icon is definitely going to meet your need. Also, if you like different other challenges, maybe you've never been ice skating before, you do have a ice skating rink on the Icon. So they have different times of open skating, so you can go and enjoy as far as skating on the Icon. Now, for me, nope. I tried ice skating before. I realized it's not for me. Well, I can't even roller skate. So I know I'm not meant to ice skate either. But the Icon definitely kept you busy. They had different game shows as well. So you had, for instance, the Married game show, which was it's always funny to be able to catch the marriage game show. They normally always pull someone who just recently got married, who's been married for quite some time, and then the couple that's been married for ages. And that couple is always the couple that cracks everyone up. So definitely plenty activities. Make sure, just like any other activity on a cruise ship, get there early to capture your seat because everyone else want to be able to capture that show as well. So if you want a good seat, make sure you get there at least 30 minutes in advance because it's pretty much open. So once you get to as far as the different destinations for the show, grab your seat. Also, plenty of other activities. Just like any other cruise ship, you got your spa, you have your gym. However, that Icon gym is over and beyond probably any type of gym membership you may have. So I'm pretty sure if you want to have that same experience that you have at your normal gym, be prepared because you're going to get it on the Icon. So a lot of activities to participate in. You are able to view your activity list for each day. For me and my husband, the best way to do it is plan your day. Take a look. What we usually did the night before, we'll take a look at the next day activities and we will set an itinerary of all the things that we are going to do for that day. It helps to kind of pace yourself and being able to make sure you participate in all the activities you want to do on the cruise boat, but also to make sure you have the time to participate in all of those activities as well. Now, when it comes to the entertainment on the Icon, be prepared. A lot of their entertainment does consist of you having to reserve your ticket to be able to participate. And I'm pretty sure that's because, you have this boat with so many people and each show is running at a certain time every day. So they want to make sure that, hey, everyone has the ability to be able to attend a show and that there's enough seats for everyone who will be in attendance. So here's a tip trick for you when it comes to the entertainment on the Icon. For their high entertainment, for instance, like the Wizard of Oz, also the Aqua Show, those are entertainments that's definitely things that you have to make reservations for. When it comes to making reservations, if you are doing a pre-check-in online prior to you getting on the ship, look for setting up reservations. Usually the same month you are set to sail is when they will open up and allow you to make your reservations before sailing. And they usually close that 4 days before your sail day. So if you off the bat want to make sure that you're catching all the shows that you want to see, go ahead, do your reservations before sale day. Now, if you're like me and my husband and you just forget to set your reservations, keep in mind that as soon as you board the ship, you are able to go to different locations on the ship to go ahead and book your reservations. The staff are very friendly, very easy to work with, to make sure that you book all your reservations for all of your days for all of the shows. So either way you do it, hey, if you like to be proactive, go ahead and get it done before Sailaway. However, don't feel pressure because once you do get on the ship, you do have the ability to go ahead and set your reservations. The only thing though, keep in mind, if a lot of people go ahead and book their reservations beforehand, may not be a lot of your set time shows that you would want to attend. So you might find yourself attending those super late time shows versus you know, going at an earlier time. So definitely keep that in mind when it comes to setting up your reservations for the shows. But the entertainment is amazing on the Icon. The best show, I must say, was The Wizard of Oz. It was a full production Broadway show. Great singing, great cast. One of the things that I love, like, they had beds flying over our heads. I mean, I'm like, wait, I was not expecting this on the ship. But here we are sitting on the Icon enjoying this full-fledged show. And I must say, it was so good. We were able to, I believe it was the last day of our cruise, we were able to catch another open reservation time slot to go see it again. It was just that good. Each time we saw it, it was just fantastic. So kudos to the Icon of the Sea and great job with the Wizard of Oz. They also had the Aqua Show. So definitely, if this is something that you enjoy on other cruise ships or if you've seen other aqua shows, you have to see the Aqua Show on the Icon. It was spectacular, definitely something to see. Once again, let me just say, even though you're making your reservations to get your ticket, it does not guarantee your exact seating location. So if you want a good seat, get there early. Now, if you are that type of person that wants that full experience and get wet at the same time, get there early so you can get that front seat, okay? Definitely a lot of splashing that goes on at the Aqua Show. And I must say I was okay sitting, you know, away from all of that. But it was a fun experience. Another show that I truly enjoyed was their star skating show. That was really, really good. A full production on ice as well. Now that show, we actually sat in the front. I don't know. I think we were being a little, you know, daredevilish, I guess you could say, and maybe some ice was going to spray on us. Thank goodness it didn't. But you are able to kind of interact more with the cast as they completed their performance. So a good show, great music. One thing, please take note, if you go into and check out the skating show, take a jacket because I was freezing in there. So definitely take a jacket for sure, or some type of sweater if you're sensitive to the cold like I am. But there was a lot of other entertainment on the Icon. As I had kind of talked about a little bit before, they have the comedy show. So you do have, as far as that 18 and up comedy show, which was good. They got some laughs out of me, I must say. But I like the setup. I really felt like I was going into a true hole in the wall type of comedy show. So it was a great feel and a great experience for, you know, a couple of chuckles. Another great show on the Icon is the Effectors. Now, this is the origin story of the Effectors. So this is one that you for sure want to grab your kiddos and reserve that time to go see. Just like The Wizard of Oz, it was a full production as well. Great light effects. I mean, things flying in, on top of you. I mean, it was just amazing. So another great show to be able to experience as well. But I must say, the Icon, you all did great when it came to the entertainment. I had a fantastic time. Every night, my husband and I, we were participating in either some type of activity or some type of show. And really, at the end of it all, just kept saying to ourselves, man, that was great. So that just says a lot. Keep up the great work. Happy to see as far as good entertainment on a ship. Now, I must say, one of the best experience that I was able to capture was a night that involved the playing of the full orchestra. The music was amazing. They have great instrumentalists, like really, really well put together production. And even when I signed up to go to be able to check out the full orchestra show, I was kind of like, how, what all of this going to be consistent? Are we just going to be listening to elevator music or something? Definitely caught me by surprise. I had the best experience, listened to the music, did a great job of being able to have the different variants of music that was being played. So if you see that on your list, definitely that is one to check out and go see. They did not do that a lot of nights on the ship, so you definitely want to make sure that you do capture and reserve a time to see the full orchestra play. So like I mentioned, entertainment on the Icon, it was always something going on. One of the things that I liked was even on the Royal Promenade, hey, keep your eyes open for different activities that takes place throughout. They usually have a great party fun time on the within the Royal Promenade. One of the things, for instance, on our very first night at 12 o'clock midnight, I know. Follow along with me. It's midnight. It's your first night. I think me and my husband was just struggling to make it to that time, but it was well worth it. Every first night on the Icon, they do a balloon release. You'll see all the balloons, in the cargo nets at the ceiling of the ship, and when it counts down to midnight, they release the balloons, and I kid you not, I felt like it was New Year's Eve and we were celebrating New Year's Day. Okay, they had the music going, the countdown was super exciting, and then at the end of it, having all the balloons released on top of you, it definitely was a great way to say, hey, we're kicking off a great full week of fun. They also had different parades as well. They had a pirate parade, which was very well put together. And so being able to catch the pirate parade was a great experience. But they also have other things that takes place. For instance, they had like a 80s night. So different themes that you can actually dress up for. Some people had already knew about the 80s night and they came dressed and prepared. The DJ played the music, was getting everyone involved. A lot of kids all on the dance floor. So a true family event for sure. So always be looking out every night, every day, what is happening along the Royal Promenade, because, hey, it's going to be some good entertainment. I can tell you that. All right, so let's talk about disembarking for each destination. I know you're probably thinking, of all the entertainment activities I just spoke of, wait, we actually had destinations? Yes! So one of the great things I must say about the Icon is how easy it is to get on and off the ship when we make it to each of our destinations. So when it was time for us to disembark, we made our way to the gangway. No line, easy process of being able to scan our cards and get right on off the ship. All right, so of all the entertainment activities, all the different destination stops, it had finally come down to the end of the trip. This is the saddest part of every cruise I ever go on. And so with the Icon of the Seas, just like any other ship, they provide you all the information of what to expect what to expect for disembarkation day. This go round, my husband and I, we did decide to sit our luggage outside the night before, so they can go ahead and have our luggage already off the ship, and we'll collect it on our way heading out. So that did make things a whole lot easier for us. I must say, because we were on the Icon for, 7 nights, I did have extra luggage. So it definitely helped already having those luggage off the ship. For us to just easily collect once we did get off. And like I've mentioned in other videos, please have some type of string or some type of way to tag your luggage, or have a luggage that stands out a lot so you can easily find it when you do get to the luggage area to be able to claim your luggage. But when it was time to get off, there was no chaos. It was a easy process of getting off the boat. Sad day for sure, but it was worth it. In conclusion, I had a great time on the Icon of the Seas. Using my travel experience meter, I rate the Icon. Yep, you read it correctly. Icon of the Seas, you get the highest rating. I enjoyed all of the activities, all of the entertainment. From day one, I was truly on a great vacation. So kudos to you all. I will definitely be selling the Icon again. I think for me, going a second go round, if I would do anything differently, I would spend more time in checking out the different neighborhoods. One thing about the Icon, they have a total of 8 different neighborhoods. And if you think about it, it's a 7-night cruise. And to try to get all of that completed and done on one sailing, it's almost near impossible. So I would definitely be looking to go for a second go round on the Icon and check out all of those different neighborhoods, spend more time, check out more different activities. Now, the water park, I don't know if I'm going to be doing any other slides. Maybe my husband, but definitely open just to see what all Icon will have to offer on my second go round. But that is all. Thank you all for watching. If you like what you see, you want to see more travel experiences from me, please make sure you like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out our videos where we captured each day of our experience on the Icon. Thank you for watching. See you next time.